Alright. So here we are. We are at Bahrain. And we are getting ready to go to qualifying. Practice went okay. Picked up some more developments on the car. That should all be coming in for, I guess, China, I want to say. I think these will be in for China. I think China is the next race. Either China or Vietnam. Well, actually, I think Vietnam's the third race. So between Vietnam and China, I think is when this stuff should come in. But yeah, so we are going to get straight into it. We are not going to waste any more time. We're going to go to qualifying. Alright, now let's see if I can change something here. Alright, we're gonna go to qualifying. Let's go. Alright, let's see how well we go here. Good first couple corners. Didn't do that intentionally. '13th, alright. Right about where the pace was expected during the qualifying practice program, so I'd say it's
With
right
qualifying
on target,
finished,
I guess.
it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Hamilton, Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Alright, so let's take a look here. It's 13th. Our teammate's 21st, which kind of wasn't surprising. She hasn't necessarily been on the pace that well all weekend, so it doesn't shock me that she's that low. Maybe just not one of her better tracks. I don't know.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
appreciate your time.
Now, that last question is one that I wasn't happy about answering. So it's silly based on that screw up right at the end there. But at the same time, I'm happy we had the interview because the new sponsor that we got, the requirement is that we have to answer at least 2 interview questions over the course of the weekend. And we answered 2 interview questions. So that one's pretty much knocked out of the park. We're going to get the money for that. Which is good, obviously. I guess I'm looking forward to this race. I feel like Bahrain's one of my better tracks. Tend to go well there. Plus, it's a track I just like driving in general, so hopefully we can get another good result. Actually, let's see if I can. Yeah, thought I might be able to change the gameplay setting a little bit, but I guess not, so that's okay. Alright, go to the workstation. Okay. Here's upgrades to the facility. The durability facility have opened new development opportunities. You can look at the newly available upgrades in the R&D screen. I'm guessing that was referring to some of the ones that might have been question marks that are no longer question marks, I think. Anyway, we are going to get straight into the race. So, let's get started. Taking long to load as per usual.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon, Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo, and Lance Stroll, Norris, the owner-driver, Pierre Gasly, and Kvyat, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and George Russell, Grosjean, Ocon, Calderon, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so it looks like Esteban Ocon had a grid penalty. Again, I'm very surprised that we're seeing grid penalties this early in the season as the game continues to have problems loading. I don't know why it's having so much trouble loading. I don't know if it's a my team thing or what the issue is. Alright, there we go.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Alright. Race strategy. So it's calling for our one stop. Let's see the two stop. What's going on here? See, I feel like I don't feel that comfortable doing the one stop. I said the same thing about Australia, and that's a similar race length, about 29 laps. I don't know, I feel like the way to go is a two-stop, personally. I don't know. I feel like the two-stop has worked for me in the past on this track, and I'd just rather attack right out of the gate and see. You know what? I'm going to trust my team on this one. Last race I did the two-stop. This time I'm going to trust my team. I'm going to go with the, well, I feel like our best opportunity to gain track position is going to be at the start. I'll go with two. I'll go with the strategy. And then sort of call audibles as we go along. Might go to the softs at the end like we did in Australia. So we'll do that.
The formation.
Didn't look at a tutorial. Race director. Huh, that's odd. I don't know why it's showing us as starting on two separate tires.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down. The drivers we're fighting here are Ricciardo and Gasly. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Let's look at this again. I don't know, for some reason it's showing me as having changed 2 tires already when I clearly haven't. So I don't know what the issue is there. But I'm gonna try to go for the 2-stop like I said, and we'll see how that goes.
Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
I said earlier that I kind of like this track. Actually, I really like this track. But the only corner that's ever given me real trouble is turn 10, which is coming up in a second here. This downhill right here, this corner, sort of a fast left-hander into a sharp hairpin. That's maybe the really only trouble spot on the track for me. Generally, sort of something you just have to like really nail. Otherwise, you're gonna just go steaming off into the wall or just flying off track if you don't handle it properly. This is also a track where on the start you can really gain a lot of time at the start if you make a big lunge the first turn. So we'll see how it goes.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
And here we go. Ready for Bahrain. And we're underway. Oh man, using that ERS to great effect at the start. Tight. And we're already up to A57. Albon, very slow start. Brake hard. And we got him. Ooh, off track a little bit. We're up into P7 already. As Hamilton is already scooting off into the distance. Sure, he's not happy about finishing first and second to the Ferraris
All right, we're looking
in
good so
Australia,
far.
so... That's what I talked about. At the start, you can really gain. You can make the right moves at this track, and DRS really coming to the fight as Albon is looking to the inside. We're going to make it hard for him. Around the outside. Still there. We get him for now as Sainz is behind him. They're going to split me? No. Albon go to the inside. We'll switch on the throttle. Squeeze him out. And there it is. P7. Because now Albon's going to come under attack from both McLarens. It's going to be 3 wide. Ooh, that's really tight for them. I think Sainz got the better of it. Let's see that again. Yeah, Norris made a great move, but it didn't work out for him. He wasn't able to get either guy. just sort of backed out of it. Yeah, a great move by him. So we're 7th. So running order, just go through real quick. So Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, the top 5. Then Ricardo, myself. Oh, there we go. Carlos Sainz in 8th, Albon 9th, Norris in 10th, Perez, Gasly, Stroll, Raikkonen, Kvyat, George Russell, Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon, and then my teammate, Tatiana Calderon, Magnussen, Grosjean, and Latifi. So my teammate is 19th after the first stint, or not the first stint, the first lap. Like I said, I'm if she could finish inside 20th, basically 19th or better, I'll be, happy with that. Yeah, so we'll see where it goes from here. Try to see if we can get away from Sainz a little bit before the DRS becomes available. Troubles under that second to last corner, just on the exit. Not getting good exits. That's allowing the guys behind to catch up really, really nicely on me.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Right now, I'm actually doing a good job with that, because Sainz is 1.3 seconds behind, so he's just outside DRS range. I'd like to keep it that way. Good news is I have a feeling that Sainz is going to be under attack from Albon here this next time down the front stretch. Uh-oh. Oh, Max Verstappen's got an engine problem. And he's slowed up Ricardo a ton. Let's take a look at that again. So this is going to be on board with Vettel. And Verstappen just blows up. Ricardo. Yep, so big blow for Verstappen. Out of the race before it even really gets started. Or before it gets going to any real degree, but that engine failure really slowed up Ricardo. Didn't run into the back of Max, but he got stuck behind him for that corner. So we are going to be right on Ricardo's tail. Slightly better exit, but we have DRS.
We've pretty much burned off our excess fuel.
And DRS,
we'll be back
and
on
Rich
target
Mix.
soon.
We should
Don't wait too long to turn the engine
by
down.
Daniel. Oh, is he still there? A little bit. We get him. At least for now, we are in P5. Ahead of both Red Bulls. That'd be a little bit embarrassing for Red Bull, I think. They were, of course, Red Bull sort of at one time was the Jaguar team. So that used to say they're the old Jaguar team, and they're getting beat by the new Jaguar team.
Hamilton's out in front. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
They're saying to come in at lap 7.
Okay, copy that.
Keep current. Yeah, fully expecting Ricardo to come back at us here.
Repeat that. There's interference. Gap to teammate behind is 11.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 35.9.
Saving some fuel, and Ricardo
We're
goes
approaching the
right
pit
by.
window. You'll be on the mediums.
Good news is that we're still outside of DRS range for Sainz in the McLaren. Ooh, I think Sainz had a bad exit out of that corner. Turn 8. Alba's gonna be all over him. Tires getting warm, but not looking too terrible. Bad exit, I think, is going to put Sainz in DRS range. Means he's going to be catching up to us pretty quickly.
We're leading our teammate by 13.0 seconds.
Really starting to close. I've fallen out of Ricardo's DRS range, so I'm not going to get DRS anymore. Kind of surprised that Albon hasn't been able to get by Sainz. Especially if you consider the Red Bull is technically better.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Well, I can't do that because I'm almost 2 seconds behind Ricardo. So that's not happening, Jeff. Let's see if we can use... I don't know what it is. I'm always going a little wide at that second to last turn. Not hooking up for me the way I'd hoped.
We expect you'll be noticing a bit of grip loss in the tyres around now, so just be careful. In this lap, push now.
Try to stretch this out for another lap. See how it goes. I'm not gonna say that a lot. I do, I'm sorry. Just, just words coming out of my mouth.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.8 seconds.
Do any of the leaders come in? Well, none of the leaders are coming in right now. So I'm going to stick it out for one more lap. Then I'm going to come to pit road. And get on the medium tires. Sainz and Albon are right behind me now.
Understood, stopping this lap.
Rotates opportunity to do a cheeky little mid-session save. Good. Alright, we're gonna come to mediums. Carlos makes a move. I have no idea if he's gonna pit with me or wait another lap. But in any case, I'm hitting the pits right now. Sainz actually had a little trouble there. He Sainz had Albon get underneath him, and he basically had to slam hard on the brakes, sort of let Albon pass, so we can get the pits. But anyway, we're coming in, and it looks like these guys are doing the two-stop, at least, who is this? This is Leclerc or Vettel. This is Vettel. He's going soft to soft. Mercedes of Hamilton has also gone soft to soft, so I guess those guys are going on mediums. And it looks like from the Renault pits that Ricardo is doing the same thing. He's going to be also going on to soft tires. So the only difference with us is that we are going on to the medium tires and then the soft tires. So we're going to end our race on the softs, just like we did in Australia.
Exit now.
You get ahead of Sainz, which is good. Looks like Perez also pitted for softs. So
We'll be
basically,
doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
so basically everyone who pitted there on that lap basically are doing two stops. And they're doing soft, medium. Of course, our contra strategy to that, and personally, I've always felt this is better. I always prefer to do, if you're doing a two-stop, to do soft, medium, soft, just so you can be on the fastest tire at the end of the race. I just feel like that works a little bit better. As far as the battle with Carlos Sainz is concerned, Nicholas Latifi came out between us, which has helped us a lot. Since I
We're not
put,
going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
so I put 2.2 seconds between myself and Carla Science. There's Albon. And so actually it's being held up by Latifi. It's helped Albon jump Sainz.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button.
Okay, I'm actually gonna... just to sort of give a recap of where everything is right now. So... as we go here, so Lando Norris is going to be leading the race. And he's the first guy who pitted on the medium, or he's one of the first guy in the running order who hasn't stopped yet because he was on the medium tires to start. Then you get Lance Stroll in second, Gasly is third, Raikkonen is fourth, and then behind them is Hamilton. So Hamilton is the effective race leader, and I think he pretty much will take the lead because, well, one, he's got the faster car. He's on the fresher tires compared to the other guys at two. You know, even when these guys pit, like, Hamilton will still probably get them. Then you got Kvyat is in sixth, and he's got Bottas behind him, and a little bit of the gap to Giovinazzi, who's got the two Ferraris in front of him. And then more of the guys who just are still running on the same time as we started with. So you got George Russell, Calderon, Magnussen, Ricardo pitted. They got Grosjean in front of me, and then Albon, Sainz, Perez, Latifi, and Ocon, who's shotgun Charlie, I guess you could say. So right now we are in, if I look at the race director, we are in 16th. So it's going to be interesting to see, I guess, where we end up with the rest of these people who are doing a one-stop. Because we're pretty far behind these guys. And we have a lot of work to do to catch up, basically like Norris and Stroll and Gasly and Raikkonen and those crew of drivers. I guess the good news is that by the time we make our last pit stops, we are going to be, or I will be on like 2 compound pressure tires, or tires that are, I always say that weird, I don't know why, but tires that are 2 compounds fresher than the guys on the one stop. As Albon to make a move on me on the outside. I don't think that's going to work, Albon. I don't know why you're trying that around this corner. I know you have the fresher tires. Let's see if we can make a move on Grosjean. We do. Hopefully Grosjean will hold up Albon and Sainz for a little bit there. And Magnussen and my teammates are doing a great job of holding up Ricardo, which is very good to see. We're actually going to move for Ricardo on the outside. How about that? How about that? It was a great move around the outside, the final corner. Oh, and that was wonderful. I was not paying attention. It's not a professional overtake. Neither was that. Nice and moving. There we go, that's better. Just putting some of these medium tire runners in between us and some of the other guys as we go on the inside of our teammate, and Russell lock up at the same corner at the same time. What are the chances? What are the chances of that? Do I Russell here? Yes, we do. Great overtake.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Thank you, Jeff. It was easy. So our goal now is just to bolt. And get away from Ricardo as fast as we can. And hope Russell and Calderon hold them up just a little bit more. And this is the tricky part with the strategy, one stop versus two stop. As I said, even though we are on pressure tires now, and we will be on pressure tires compared to these other guys who are doing the one stop for the rest of the race, we still got a lot of catching up to do.
Is 4.2 seconds.
And if we actually check the gaps, Norris is still doing an incredible job. Those guys are just holding them a treat right now. Norris first. Yeah, you can see what's happening here is that Hamilton and Bottas and the Ferraris are getting stuck behind this train. Bottas is able to get by Gasly, but Hamilton and Bottas are still stuck behind Raikkonen and Gasly and Stroll. And that's allowing Norris to just keep a gap to the rest of these guys. So Leclerc is just getting by Giovinazzi now. So, well, it's looking good for points. It's not set in stone just yet. We still got some work to do. And as our teammate Calderon has actually gotten by Russell, which is pretty good to see. I'm actually interested to see how she turns out in the one stop. Obviously, I don't think at this point she's going to be in the points, but considering the fact that she is on the one stop, she could gain some spots where she started from 21st. We're in that tricky turn 10. We are closing to Giovinazzi, who, while having on the medium tires, ours are obviously much fresher than his. And I guess the question is going to be, when do we want to come in for the softs? Now, obviously, guys like Hamilton, Bottas, and Mercedes, and then the Ferraris, Leclerc and Vettel, you know, they're on softs, so that they are going to have to be coming down into the pits a lot sooner than I will. Obviously, I can go a little bit longer because I am on the medium tire. So I guess I'm kind of curious to see sort of what happens to those guys, what traffic may potentially fall behind, and how all that shakes out. Yeah, but as far as this race goes, that's one stop. It's working great for Lando Norris. You know, he could be in a shot of a podium, potentially. Not certain, but it could happen. It could happen. Again, those guys, you know, they're in one big DRS train, and Stroll is really the one that's holding everybody up. And actually what that's doing is allowing us to catch up to them, or allowing me to catch up to them. So we're now in DRS range of Giovinazzi, as Ricardo has finally gotten behind the slower cars. Now look at Norris. All those guys are finally hitting the pits. So that's Norris, and Stroll, and Gasly, and Raikkonen. are all finally coming down into the pits for their stop. Giovinazzi and Kvyat, obviously, because their teammates pitted, they're staying out another lap. It's going to be interesting.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
Leaders are all bunched up right now. Closing on Giovinazzi. Make a dive bomb overtake. Locks up. We bang wheels a little bit, but we get by him. Nothing to it. Let me scoot away. I guess the question is going to be, when do the Mercedes and the Ferrari pit? And when they do, where do they come out in relation to Lando Norris? That's going to be the question of the night. So now they're in clean air and they're able to actually run free.
Tatiana is coming in for a stop.
So realistically, we are in a net P5. If all things were even, but like I said, we still have to see where Mercedes and Ferraris come out in relation to Lando, who's undoubtedly on the hard tire. I'm not too worried about Ricciardo right now, just because we know at the end of the race we're going to have a better tire than him. Got on the curb a little bit there, but that's okay. We're still in good shape.
The gap to the car ahead is 9.2 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's where that strategy...
Plus 1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target plus 1.
I feel like where that strategy is going to ultimately fail for
We're approaching
Lando.
the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
I feel like where that strategy is going to fail for Lando is that, you know, Mercedes and the Ferraris just have so much pace in clean air, despite the fact that they're all still bunched up on the mini-map. And even though his hard tires are fresher, I don't think... Pretty sure I got hards. Yep, he did. He's in 11th. He'll undoubtedly gain a couple spots. But yeah, I don't really know where he's going to end up. Mercedes and the Ferraris are going so fast. They might not. They might get ahead enough that Lando won't get ahead of them. Oh, what happened
Bottas
there?
is up in first place.
I think Ricciardo hit me from behind. He doesn't have any front wing damage. I think Ricciardo might be out of the race. I think Ricciardo might be out. Yeah, he's out of the race. Ricciardo is done. Not from the contact, but from the engine failure. That looks like he suffered. Ooh. Rode that curb once. Should not have rode it a second time. Pushing my luck. Oh, here we go. It's like Bottas or Hamilton and Vettel are in the pits. So where are they going to come out in relation to Norris? I think they should be ahead of him pretty easily.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Interestingly, Hamilton and Vettel that was, or no, yeah, it was Vettel. So we were stuck in traffic a little bit. But look at that. I think I can see that Norris is not that far behind them, so even if he wasn't going to take the lead, this is going to be a great result for Lando. He's going to be at least P5, depending on where we come out. Curious to see if Albon coming out in front of Hamilton holds him up a little bit, which might allow Bottas and Leclerc to jump. Actually, is Ricciardo out of the race? No, he's still out there, so I'm not sure what happened to Daniel. It looked like he was going slow.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button more.
And for a moment, we are going to be in the net lead of the race. Not the net lead, but the effective lead of the race.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
And the Mercedes looks like Hamilton's just going to edge out
31.8 seconds
for the lead of the race. Yeah, so it's going to be Hamilton, Bottas, 1-2 for Mercedes, Leclerc and Vettel for Ferrari, and Norris is going to be P5.
Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop.
I think we're going to stop at lap 20. I think that's going to be our play. Right now it says we would come out in an effective P10. That can change. And at this point, I guess it's just a question of when Hamilton gets into the back of us.
Okay, the car behind has newer tyres than you. Maintain our gap if possible.
Uh-oh, somebody's got a problem. I think it's one of the Ferraris. Let's see which one. No, it's Leclerc. Not a good night for Charles Leclerc. Of course, in the 2019 race here, had a great car, then the car was leading, dominating, and then the car failed him, and it looks like the same has just happened to him now. Should be interesting to see if that brings out a safety car or not.
Full course caution.
Oh,
the safety car is
there
out.
we
Keep an eye on
go.
the Delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive Delta. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
I cannot believe this. Now, it says to go on to the medium tires,
Got that confirmed?
but actually, we're going to do a quick mid-session save here. It says to go on to the mediums, but I think we're going to have enough laps under the safety car where the softs will still be good.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop.
Man, first two races, two safety cars, right at the most opportune of times for us. I really can't believe this has happened twice now. It's unbelievable. I have no idea where we're going to end up in the running order.
Release, release.
Looks like we are going to be in ninth. So just like Australia, we are going to be one spot above where we would have been had we hit it under green conditions. I cannot believe the luck we've had these first two races. Just catching almost the exact same thing. I guess the difference here is that in Bahrain, or in Australia, happened just as I was coming in, whereas here, it happened about a lap before I was going to come into the pits. Like I said, yeah, I think just because of the fact that we're going to be running a laps under yellow behind the safety car, I just felt that this was, you still go with the softs just because we're not going to be running at full speed. And so it should preserve the tires for at least a little bit. And much like Australia, we have a bunch of cars around us. We're on the hard tires and we are on the softs. So we are on two compound pressure tires compared to some people around us, which worked like a charm. It really did. I did not expect this to happen, but it has happened. So yeah, we are in a good position once again. It's Hamilton in front of Bottas and Vettel, Norris, Stroll, Gasly, Raikkonen, Fiat. So the one-stop strategy really did work out for all the guys who did it, who were in that front pack. So that would have been Norris, Stroll, Gasly, Raikkonen, and Kvyat, because they were all behind me. They all started outside of the points when this race started, outside the points paying positions, and that's the I guess the key to the one stop at a track like this is that for it to really work like it has here, you have to be like one of the first couple of cars on that strategy. And as you can see, it's really it's worked out for those guys. But the good news is we're gonna have pressure tires, much pressure tires, and we're gonna have a lot of fuel to burn. on this restart. A little worried about the tire fall off, especially on that right front, or left front, but I think we should be okay till the end of the race. Kvyat, don't brake check me. Oh, that's not gonna do. There we go. Kvyat's just out here brake checking me. So, I'm going to be coming through here really hot.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
And it should be interesting to see how the other guys behind me, who are also on the two-stop, make it through this traffic, or if they make it through this traffic.
The track is clear. Green flag.
And we're back racing. Got a little bit of a gap to Sainz, which is good to see. We're going to get Kvyat into turn one. Might have been able to go for a double overtake on Raikkonen, but I wasn't going to chance it. Sainz now looking to get by Kvyat. He might be a sitting duck. And let's see how far up the field we can get here. Right behind Kimi Raikkonen. No DRS. Not for a few laps yet. One on the outside. Tight squeeze, but we get it done. We're into P7. Now Pierre Gasly is up next. Is AlphaTauri.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the softs. We're leading our teammate by 3.9 seconds.
Putting distance between ourselves and Raikkonen, that's good. Trying to make something happen on Gasly, not quite yet. Here. Tight, turn 8, we got him. Up into P6.
Brilliant, nice move. Use your overtake button more, it's time to utilize some of this energy.
Coming up to Stroll, right on the rear end.
DRS has
yet
been
just
enabled.
been enabled, but we're going to get by Stroll anyway. Outbreak him deep into turn 1. Easy as you'd like. Now Lando Norris, can we get P4? The incredible result for this team, this brand new Jaguar team. lunge to the inside, bang wheels a little bit. We got him. We are into P4. Can you believe it? A legitimate P4. Now it's trying to gun it and just get that gap to a Norris, so we're outside of DRS range.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
We've built a nice gap to Lando Norris. I guess the only question now is just to see how things develop for the lead, because DRS is back enabled. Hamilton is the leader, but Bottas and Vettel are still very close behind him. And of course, because Hamilton is in the lead, he has no DRS to use. So I'm curious to see whether Bottas is going to be able to get by him for the win in this race. And I guess curious to see if Vettel can do anything. Sitting in third.
Our gap to the car in front is 6.4 seconds.
Because he is also in DRS range, he should be able to stay in touch.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Bottas just isn't able to make anything happen right now with Hamilton for whatever reason.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Looking at the mini-map, looks like Stroll and Norris, or I guess Norris and Stroll, respectively, are going to be in a safe 5th and 6th. Because Raikkonen is really 7th, holding everybody up behind him.
Hamilton's in first place.
Those guys just cannot get by Raikkonen. Battle for the lead. Looks like Bottas might have gotten by Hamilton.
Is 13.9
and he has. Valtteri Bottas to the lead at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and he is bolted almost immediately. It looks like Hamilton is under threat from Sebastian Vettel.
Okay, gap ahead is 8.7 seconds.
is going okay right now. Tire wear should be good for the rest of the race.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Most wear is on the left front, but I think we should be okay to the end. And as I see, Bottas set the fastest lap of the race. Just confirms that, I know he's only on 1 lap pressure tires compared to his teammate Hamilton, but his car's clearly better right now, because as soon as he got by Hamilton, he just drove off into the distance. Barring anything weird happening in this last lap and a half, he's going to win this race. I think Norris is closing the gap a little bit, but we're still just maintaining. A comfortable enough gap to where he can't get DRS on us.
Gap to car in front is 9.9 seconds.
And we'll just punch it into rich mix and overtake
This is your final lap of the race.
a little bit of this last lap just to maintain the gap to Lando.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
That's why we are pushing a little bit. Got to keep it nice and easy for these last couple corners. I think we're pretty much safe from Lando right now. There it is, Valtteri Bottas, after retiring from the opening race in Australia, comes back and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we are going to come home in an impressive P4.
Okay, pick up rubber
After
and
the
bring it
safety
home.
car saved our day. As we get driver of the day, despite the fact that it does not load.
That's it for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain, and a real champion's drive to take the win. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Well, that was another interesting race, I would say.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Alright, who doesn't love getting more XP?
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel will be very happy with that result as he extends his championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Our championship leaders retain their position, but their lead is shrinking. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
All right, so that's the Bahrain GP. Again, the safety car once again, just like it did in Australia, really worked wonders for us in terms of our strategy. Proving once again that the two stops for both races were, I guess, the right call, though I have no idea how it would have turned out had there been no safety car. The one stop clearly worked, though, for some of these guys. Norris, Stroll, Gasly, Raikkonen, and Kvyat all scored points. So... And they all also, I guess Lance Stroll technically started 10th, but I think he would have been 11th had Ocon not gotten that penalty. But basically, all those guys who had originally qualified outside the top 10 ended up getting points. So, for them, it worked out well. Really tough day for Renault. And I'm not sure what happened to Ricciardo. It looked like he had that collision in turn 10. It looked like he had slowed to the point that he was going to retire from the race. And the yellow flag had come out in that part of the track, and I thought that was going to be a retirement, but he kept going, and I guess he just couldn't get back up to where he was. And for Tatiana, it was just the same story as it was last race. She got 16th. She finished ahead of both Williams and both of the Haas cars, which again, that's based on the performance chart, she should be finishing ahead of them. And was obviously helped out by 2 retirements. So in the end, everything worked out for her. And you could tell her car is better than Williams and Haas, just because I think towards the end of the race there, Calderon had put a pretty. She was at this no man's land, and it sort of works out in the times here, where she was about 7 seconds behind Ricciardo and the rest of this pack, but she was 4 seconds ahead of Latifi and the rest of the back runners here. So she was sort of in a league of her own in that part of the field. As we go to the race results, I'm just going to if you're seeing anything weird that's happening there, I'm just taking a picture of the results and saving it to the gallery on my PS4. So if the screen is going black there for a couple seconds, that's why. Just taking pictures of the results, as I tend to do. Check the standings, and we are sitting in P5. Vettel still leads the championship. 13 ahead of Hamilton, 17 ahead of Bottas, and a full race win ahead of his teammate, Leclerc. Obviously, we are sitting in 5th, but I expect that to change, especially considering the guys like Bottas and Leclerc and Verstappen have had DNFs. Raikkonen and I think if he had scored a point in Australia, if I remember correctly. I think it's kind of surprising that Sergio Perez and Alexander Albon both have failed to score points in the first two races. That's kind of a surprise. I mean, the Williams and the Haas, I can sort of get it. Tatiana, I can understand it. Just, you know, she's fresh into Formula One. But Albon and Perez, you know, it's not working out for them. And I guess Perez more so, because Albon, you know, he had an engine failure in Australia, so he could kind of, not really his fault per se. But Perez just has not been on it. He's not been performing in that racing point car. Or he just hasn't had the luck of the draw and the results. So kind of intrigued to see what our payout is here.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
I'll say that the car handled very well.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
I'd say that's a good answer.
Appreciate your time.
So we're definitely going to get money from that sponsor based on our answers, since the fact that we did have interviews. Claim levels going up, which is good. Getting $144,000. Another $100,000. Up to $1.49 million, which is, I guess, good to start out with. Doing okay. I guess the idea is, or the next question is going to be what we're going to spend this money on. Let's go to the R&D. We have 400 points. We're not going to have enough to spend on another upgrade right this second. So let's see. Looking through some of the different things here. Increase fabrication capacity. I think with these facility upgrades, the thing I want to really work on is the build time. Just so the parts can come in a little bit faster. Don't think I have enough money right this second to do what I might want to do. Which is fine. Messages. Again, we're getting close. We're very close with AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo, the two Alphas. Um, so that's good. That's where you want to be. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days to fill here in the activities. So, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, I kind of don't like these department focuses only because it decreases the morale of everything else. So that's kind of annoying. Okay, here's what I think I'm going to do. We are going to do... Actually, I think we can actually fit in a lot of stuff here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do driver promotion filming, which I guess is for me. For my driver. Then there is the second driver PR filming, which will help Tatiana's claim and also give us $20,000 in cash. Then we'll do a sponsor event, which costs us $5,000, but we'll get a team of claim plus of 100, which I think is pretty good. I think that's something we can do. And then I'll close out with a durability equipment upgrade, which will boost the department morale of durability by 5%, while also giving us resource points. So I think this period has been very generous to us in terms of just filling stuff out in the schedule. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that at all. And Vietnam will be the next race, so we will advance the timeline.
You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select. While you will receive a claim for beating them, you'll lose a claim if you fail to do so.
Thank you, Carl, for that useful information. So I'm just gonna end the stream here by getting some more upgrades and yeah, just going from there. Aerodynamics wise, we already have a part coming in. So I think I'm gonna wait for the next aero upgrade until this one comes in here. So I think the next one I'll get this chassis upgrade, which will help us get a little bit further ahead of Alfa Romeo and get a little closer to AlphaTauri. So I did think this is a good one to go with. Let's see, we got a bunch of upgrades scheduled to come in over the month of April. What's interesting is that Red Bull is actually ahead of Ferrari right now in the team chart here. The Red Bull really hasn't had the performances necessarily to show for it. Now we do have $1.86 million. So, wondering what we could spend that on. do durability. Can't do anything on the power. Chassis. Can't do anything. I think for right now, I'm going to go with doing the fitness center, which will improve our second driver's racecraft and awareness. Um, we'll burn the money down a little bit, but again, you have to spend money to make money, so I don't have an issue with that necessarily. So we will do that. We are now low on cash, but I think that's okay. We can be making some money over the next week with the race, so that's that. Alright, and that's it for the stream. I'll probably, as I'm recording this, I'll be doing another race later today. There we go.